Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the webinar of getting great information for your businesses. The title of this webinar is Unlocking Your Employer Benefits, getting more information on FICA tax discount programs, learning how to fund your business with our special guest, Andrew Kuby, President of U.S. Commercial Capital. We are happy to have everybody here today. Whoever cannot make it today, we will send this recording out and we will make sure you have access to all the information and everybody's contact information on how to reach us. All right, one of our missions here, we are the host of this webinar here at Master Wealth Builders LLC. We're here to provide resources to businesses, providing peace of mind to one business at a time. We provide information in all areas, not just what we talk about in finance, but whether you need resources in legal, business, real estate, or your health. We do have business partners that help in all areas. We also provide educational workshops that we can bring to your business. We can come to your workplace and provide human resource workshops for your employees, for yourself, and to your local communities. These are some of the resources that we have within our partnerships with all of our business partners that are here today, along with partners that we have that are not able to make it today. But through our combined efforts and our partnerships, we are able to provide services in all these areas to help you on your business journey. So without further ado, give me 1 second. I just want to introduce the people you will be meeting with. You will be hearing from Andrew Kuby, President of U.S. Commercial Capital and Business Capital. We will also be presenting on behalf of Wayne Murray, which is the CEO and founder of Avon West Services, and also the founder of Employee Wealth Services. So we will be talking about FICA tax discount. And TK and I will be going over self-directed benefits, group and health and life benefits that are efficient and up to date and provide savings for your business. So first and foremost, I do want to introduce Johnny Jones, which he is a great partner. He is also helping us with putting on this webinar today to make sure everything is working and functioning for us. So without further ado, go ahead, Johnny Jones. You can be able to introduce to us options for legal services for business.
Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen now.
It's not on.
Okay. Go ahead and try again.
Okay, perfect. Yep, there we go. All right, there you go. You should be able to see my screen clearly now.
Yes, now it's up.
Okay, perfect. And so my name is Johnny Jones. I'm with the company called Legal Shield. I've been here for 16 and a half years. And what I appreciate with this company is that we're really geared to help business owners and their employees with the services that we provide. And so the first thing I want to talk about is our small business plan. So we understand that there are some business owners that work from home. Your business has the same address as your home address. You have no business partners unless it's a spouse. You have no employees. So we have a home business coverage that allows you to have all of the things you need to run your business, but run it from home. So it's built specifically for somebody who builds their business specifically from home. But we also understand that there are businesses that actually are beyond their home. They're actually able to do that. So our small business plans allow you to have anywhere from 1 to 5 designated users, meaning that you can have other people assigned to call the law firm on behalf of the business. Maybe they're over the 1099s and the W-2s, maybe to make decisions on a day-to-day basis in which, if they don't make the decision correctly, it can impact the company. So it gives you the ability to get advice and consultation, and you can have designated consultation for specialty areas like intellectual property, immigration, things like that that are big deals. We have contract and document review. We have the attorneys will do letters and make phone calls where it's going to best assist you. We have debt collection assistance, IRS audit services, employee handbook drafting. We have interstate coverage, meaning that you can have coverage if your business goes into multiple states. You'll be able to call the law firm to assist you in multiple states. We even have trial defense if somebody decides to sue your business. We have that available for you as well. And I really think, especially when you're a newer business, a smaller business, or maybe you just can't afford the $300 to $500 an hour an attorney would normally charge you, this is the perfect program for you. Now, for the employees, we want to make sure that you understand that we're here to help and guide you with dealing with employees as well. So, as a business owner that wants to protect their employees, as I like to say, your employees go through things all the time, but you don't know what it is because they don't come back to you. So, what if you could be the superhero to your employees to provide services that actually help them deal with things you don't even know exist? And that's what we're talking about today. So, we have an administration site so you can see all your employees and interact with who has what and who needs what, and you can actually help them. There's no long-term contracts and no claim forms. The moment that they're signed up, they can use it by simply making a phone call. There's no cost to the employer to provide this benefit, which a lot of benefits require you to have to pay something. There's no cost for that. It's portable just like all your other benefits. So when the employee decides to leave, they can actually take the benefit with them at the cost that they're paying, but they can never use their services for employer-employee matters. So you're arming them with the legal assistance, but they can never use it against you. We know that a lot of people like to use it when they're properly educated, so we do all the education for it. It's a guaranteed issue product, and that's an important thing because me as a cancer survivor, a lot of times people didn't get a lot of benefits would not be available to me. And so, it's rough when you're going through the things that you go through in life and you can't get access to what everybody else has access to. So it's guaranteed issue no matter what. Everybody can actually get the product that they signed up for. It's access to support, no 800 number, so you reach it directly to a person like me who will actually handle anything and everything you need to do, and it's low cost. And the one thing that I love about this plan gives you direct access for employees for every state. So even if you live in the state of Maryland, the state of Virginia, you live in DC, wherever you happen to be, you're covered in all 50 states. The average law firm tenure with Legal Shield is 19 years, but the average attorney experience is 22 years. We have over 9,600 attorneys, both provider and referral attorneys, so we can take care of any need and every need you have, and the matters are handled 100% in network. And so I just want to give you a quick overview of the type of things that you get in your plan. First of all, family coverage, anything related to family like bullying, like immigration, uncontested name change, Medicare situations, juvenile matters. We also do estate planning. We also do help with anything related to your auto, your driver's license, moving violations. We also help with anything related to your home. You're buying a home, having somebody come in to do something. Maybe you're doing a foreclosure, refinancing. We can assist with everything. We help you with financial things, like civil defense. If somebody decides to sue you, help you with debt collection personally if somebody owes you money. So we help with all those things. We help you if you have to go to the small claims court. You can call the attorneys. They can give you advice on that. We even have general services 24/7 to access for emergencies. We also have letters that you could get from the law firm to actually help you to deal with different matters. And we have legal forms that are already done. What I really love about it is the portal. So the portal gives you the ability, whether you're on a desktop, whether you're on a laptop, whether you're on a smartphone, to see all your features and benefits of your service. You can actually start to generate things like do your estate planning right there on your smartphone. You can start it on one device and flip to another device. We also provide a benefit called ID Shield. It's for identity theft. First of all, it monitors all your personal information and lets you know when somebody's trying to use it. We also monitor your financial accounts and when money comes out, because there's some accounts that you do every day, some you look at every week, some you look at every month, some you hardly look at it. Like most people don't look at your 401k or some pensions or things that are set up. So when money's coming out of that, we'll give you an alert right away to let you know so you can actually do the things you need to do to fix that. And we partnered with a company called Trend Micro because they were the best of what they do. And so first of all, they actually look on your devices looking for viruses, malware, and ransomware, and they'll help you to remove them. We also understand that in this day and age, we actually get on other people's Wi-Fi because everything moves better on Wi-Fi. And so we have what's called a virtual private network or VPN that actually encrypts your information and hides your location so thieves can't get access to you. We even have what's called reputation management. So we look at your social media looking for things like social media used to be the fun place, right? I'm going to a barbecue. I'm going to a weekend event, celebrating a birthday. But now it's your character. When people are applying for a loan, applying for a job, they're applying applying for college or they own a business. People go to your social media trying to determine who you are and if they should connect with you. So we're going to actually look at your social media and help you to remove the things that don't belong there. But the most important thing we do is called full service restoration. That means who you are today. If they steal your identity tomorrow, we're going to put you back to who you are today. And we do all of that without you having to figure anything out. We do over 95% of the heavy lifting. So the only things you may have to do is sign off on a document giving us permission to do the work that we do best. And we have a portal for that as well. So you can actually go in and determine what you want monitored. We don't automatically monitor all your information without your permission. So you'll go in and say, I want you to monitor my driver's license, my email accounts, my passport, whatever it is, you'll go in and log it in, and then we'll monitor those things. And just like our legal plan, there is a mobile app available. So you can actually do everything from the palm of your hand, wherever you happen to be. So who's covered? We covered the employee. We covered the employee spouse. We covered the dependent children up to the age of 26. And we have individual coverage available for ID Shield, but it's one rate for the family. And so it's an amazing thing. So the rates can be anywhere from $21 a month to about $25 a month, depending on how you set up your coverage. And so my name is Johnny Jones. The best way to reach me is my number, 410-419-7130. You can go to my website to see more information about our services, but you can also, and I prefer that you schedule a link, like my calendar link, and schedule something with me so we can talk, because we don't believe in one size fits all. We believe in having a real conversation so that we can actually put the best benefits in front of you in the way that you need it best. And so with that, I thank you so much for your time. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it back over to our host. Shantae, it's now yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Johnny. We appreciate you. We appreciate your partnership and your service and dedication to helping our fellow business owners. So as you heard, Johnny has shared his contact information. I want to make sure everybody can see.
And we also put that in the chat.
Hmm. So that way we will share the chat afterwards to make sure everybody has everybody's contact information and how to reach out. All right. So thank you so much, Johnny. Those are the great ways that you can add value to your business and help in all areas of legality. All right. So next we have Andrew Kuby. He is the president of U.S. Commercial and Capital Business Capital. He is more than just U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. He has a wealth of knowledge. He has been in the industry well before I was legally allowed to. So I'm happy to have him and thankful for his partnership. And Andrew, if you would like to share your screen, you can go ahead and take it away.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. So my name is Andrew Kuby. I'm the president of U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. A little bit about me. I have 28 years, going on 29 years in lending. I have a passion for helping business owners. And when I'm not helping clients, I enjoy spending time with my children and going to sporting events, golf, concerts, that type of thing. And what we do at U.S. Commercial and Business Capital is we help business owners get the money to start businesses, buy businesses, grow their existing business, and franchise. And on the other side of our business, we work with real estate investors, those looking to grow their portfolios. And I've been able to establish hundreds of relationships over the years to be able to help all of these people find the cheapest money for their projects. What that means is the lowest down payments, lowest interest rate, lowest cost, and the best terms. Some of the loan programs that we do, that we have here, we have the SBA 7A loan. That's for business owners that are looking to start or expand their business. They can buy property with this loan, real estate. They can rehab that real estate. They can do a ground up construction project from this loan. They can get equipment, working capital to run their business and pay employees, market, etc., as well as pay off any current business debt that client might have. The SBA 504 loan, that's usually used for bigger properties. So if you're buying a property Usually the minimum loan amount there is $1 million, sometimes $2 million for different businesses. And that loan can go up to 10 to $12 million, depending on the space. With the SBA 504 loan, you could buy the property, build the property, and then get any equipment that you need. This loan does not pay off high interest rate business debt and does not let you get working capital for your business. The next, I guess, business loans that we have equipment loans, we have merchant cash advance loans, um, factoring loans, as well as business lines of credit. And then we have some other commercial loans for your commercial investors as well. Um, these are some of the properties that we do: office, retail, industrial, multifamily, hotel, land investment, special purpose, single family, mixed use. Special purpose would be like would be churches. Would be an example of special purpose. Um, we have a specialty program for business owners right now who are currently leasing their real estate for their business and they want to buy commercial real estate for their business. It's 100% financing. I call it the rent replacement because you're replacing rent with a mortgage. In this loan, not only can you buy the property, but you can get cash, equipment, any type of business fixtures, FF&E, fixtures, furniture, and equipment. You can pay off business debt. And for this no money down program, you have to be in business for 2 years. You have to show a profit on your taxes and have somewhere around a 650 credit score or higher. So this is a great program. The SBA has set aside $5 million for every small business. So again, whether you're starting a business, buying a business, growing your existing business, or franchising, there's $5 million out there. So what we do is we help you get to the $5 million to grow your business. Um, Here's a case study that we have for a no money down loan that we did. Byron owned an insurance company, and his business location had limited space. He was looking to grow his insurance business and go from just doing auto insurance to offering health insurance and other types of insurance. And he needed to have a space to put his new agents. He needed a conference room. He needed room. So he found a property for $2.5 million. He was able to occupy about 60% of that property for his business and was able to rent out 40%. So the rule there, as long as you operate 51% of the property for your business, the SBA doesn't care what you do with the rest of the space. So he was actually able to rent out 40% of this building, which helped him pay for most of his new mortgage payment. And he was able to also, he wanted another 75,000 in working capital. So we were able to help him get that all for no money down. So that's all for the presentation that I had today. Uh, to recap, whether you're looking for $100,000 and you're looking for or $50,000, $100,000, or you're looking for $20 million, we have relationships and we know where to help you find the cheapest money for whatever your need is. And I can be reached at 727-296-8650 or at UCB Capital, USCB for business capital.com is our website, and you can reach us there as well. Thank you.
You so much, Andrew.
Thank you,
We
Sante.
appreciate you. I love it. You are providing such a great resource to people that may not have the information. Remember, everybody, if you're watching this later, the purpose of this is to make sure you know what your options are. A lot of people traditionally just walk into their bank thinking they can just open up a bank account and get a business loan, but there's so much more involved and there's so many more other options. People like Andrew can help you assess all your needs, figure out what's going to work, or maybe do or put you in a position where you can be in a situation where you can get what you need to eventually. So just make sure you contact. We're consultants. He is a consultant. He is here to help. He will guide you through what would be the best options for your business. All right. So thank you so much, Andrew. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. All right. So if everybody can see, same information. This is how Andrew can be reached. And definitely check out his website and make an appointment with him today. We will be sharing this video. We're going to make sure everybody that needs this information gets it. All right. Thank you so much. So we are going to now talk about FICA tax discounts. And this is something that we find many people or most business owners are not even aware that they have access to this information. So the goal is to get the information out to you. And then if you want to know specifically how it's customizable to you, you need to reach out to TK and myself, and we will be able to sit down with you and share with you those resources. So TK Pryor is going to be introducing for our partner, Wayne Murray, today, and he will take it away for Employee Well Program Services.
All right. Thank you, Shantae. I'm very excited about this. This is a needed program in a time in which a lot of businesses find themselves struggling within the economy. Um, Literally, we're in a position right now where a lot of clients that you see on the screen have been able to utilize these services because it's a no out-of-pocket program. So this is an opportunity for your company to basically expand, really grow without spending any out-of-pocket costs. The C Plus program is basically a third party that allows all of the accounting to take place. So this program comes into your company. They make sure that everything is compliant with the IRS tax codes. They're going to apply 4 different tax codes to your company. And what they do is guarantee that you will be compliant. That's why it's outsourced to a third party accounting firm. C Plus is that firm. So essentially, they're going to work with your HR, they're going to work with your payroll department, they're going to make sure everything syncs. You're going to have to basically send out emails. They're going to get opt-ins from your employees because it helps on both the company owner side, and of course, it's going to help on the employee side. So not only do you get savings, you also get apps. Now, these apps are just simply help aids. So your employee gets an app that allows them to tap into different health benefits that are going to enhance their life. Attentive is one of the major companies within this space, and what they do is provide you access to that health app. So realistically, this is a complement to whatever you currently have in your company. Whatever benefits you have, this does not take away. This adds to your existing benefits package because it's a layer above. So if you see here, this is an example of how it works. This is the 4 IRS codes that basically get applied to the paycheck, right? The C++ will work with HR, apply these to each individual paycheck, which is why each employee has to opt in. And your savings, right? So you're looking at, on average, $700 per year for the company, all right? And that's per employee. And then your workers will see about $70 a month per employee. So that's a raise that they opt into from an HR email. And then, of course, on top of that, they have access to all of the health additional app benefits. Employee Well program really is beneficial because what? There's no out of pocket. All right. So you're talking about what ends up for your company to be a free service because you're going to get a kickback. Depending on how many employees you have, you're looking, as I said, about an average of $700 per employee. So the numbers can be significant. You take the profit back into your company. And then you can use that kickback, right, to fund a project or to provide additional benefits for your, as long as you reinvest the money back into your company, that's the only caveat. So literally with the third party company, C plus, working with your HR department, everything is seamlessly integrated. It's very easy process. The opt-in, usually 95%, right? Because there's always somebody on vacation. There's always somebody that doesn't read their email. But what you're asking your employees to do is to get a raise of about $70 per paycheck per month. So it's rare that people opt out. Here are the apps that I told you about and all of the additional layer above benefits that comes with this program. So you're talking about very well-known companies that just provide you with additional health benefits and complement whatever you currently have in your company.
And some of those benefits are predominantly preventative health, so these are things that will help you keep you healthy. And this will be something that will be attractive to an employee, knowing they just have something, not just when they get sick, but they have something to help them along the way on their health journey.
So again, these are companies. This is basically how it works. It's a layer above whatever benefits you currently have in your company. We act as a broker. EmployWell just steps in and gives you an intermediary, and then you have third-party companies that are the subject matter experts that handle individual lanes. So it makes the process very seamless, very easy, and very compliant. So EmployWell and their partners, essentially how it works, right? Payroll talks to your company. They basically sign some papers, which is now automated and done through electronic. Your employees opt in or opt out. And then within about 4 weeks, right, everything gets set up. Within that setup period, you're going to basically have a manager. You're going to have somebody that's going to work with you. That person is going to be assigned to your company, and they're going to walk everyone through, right, the process. So you get an account manager, and here's the integration process that I talked about. HR talks to the third party C++ or C plus rather, and everybody has to opt in. All right. As I said, you're going to get ongoing support. Dedicated 6 weeks. It's just an account manager that's going to walk you through, make sure everybody is fully understanding how to access the app, how to really take advantage of the benefits, and then, of course, any questions that you have as the company owner. So this is the guarantee that I talked about. It will never cost you any money because you're getting a kickback, right? And essentially, if the program cost exceeds, they're going to guarantee that they cover, right? So that's an additional peace of mind because really this is about you taking advantage of the Secure Act 2.0 and Big Beautiful Bill and a few other tax stuff that existed way before. It's just you applying for those benefits and then, of course, taking advantage of less money coming out of your check. So think about the taxes you already pay. This is basically saying that it lowers your tax liability. So you get to keep more of the money you make. And then because of the compliancy in Make America Healthy Again, and because of the preventive medicine apps that your employees get access to, they also get a raise because their tax liability also goes down. So 700 for the company owner per employee per year, and then of course $70 for each employee, which is a raise.
Yes. And as a tax professional, I can speak on that. The tax incentives that they're giving, and they're incentivizing with credits now in my tax world, where if you are providing preventative services, they want to do more to help people stay healthy. So, this doesn't hurt anybody. It actually gives benefit all the way around.
So the next steps is basically you having a one-on-one meeting with us, schedule a free consultation. We're going to show you the slideshow that we just showed you. We're going to break down the details. You're going to talk to the key leaders, or we're going to sit in a room with the decision makers. And then, of course, like I said, from start to finish, you're looking at about 30 days to implement this program. And we will show you on a line by line basis that 770, right? 700 for the company owner, 70 for the employee, but we are going to see what that savings looks like on an actual line by line basis.
All right, that's great. So anybody that's looking to learn more and it's customizable to you and your business and your company, please visit our website. If you're watching this by way of YouTube or watching the video on social media, it's www.masterwealthbuildersllc.com. Directly on the website, we do have the Employ Well direct link where you can go into that. And at the end of this webinar, I will share a QR code where you can schedule a direct calendar appointment to have the conversation. And it's a free conversation. So just to talk to us, it costs you nothing for the service. TK, do you have any last remarks?
No, as it says, the things that I would definitely suggest you consider is in this tough economic times, this is a simple way to put money back into your company because it lowers the taxes you already pay. And then you look like a hero because you're giving your employees a $70 raise, right? So here's some different examples. Like I said, $700 net to the employee, $70 per employee, right? And it could go higher because the third party company, what they do is they work with each employee. And if they have receipts, let's say that they went to school associated with their job, that's an additional. So average is $70, right? And that's a raise because you're keeping more of the money you make by lowering your tax liability. So employee well, excellent, free, what turns out to be free because there's no out-of-pocket expense. And guess what? We are here to show you how to set all of this up in about 30 days. You want to save money, you want to pay less in taxes, Employee Well is your program.
All right. Well, thank you so much, TK, for educating us on this Employ Well program. If you want to learn more, like I said, visit our website. We will put a QR code at the end of this video, so that way you can schedule a direct consultation. But the point of this, like we keep saying, we're trying to provide you educational information, benefits. We're not here to replace anybody. You still keep your CPA. I am a tax professional. Hey, we don't want to take on your tax work, but we do want to provide a service that can help and give you more benefit. And we'll work with your tax professionals, and we're going to work directly with your HR and payroll services. All right, so next, TK and I are going to talk about some of the other benefits that our company is currently providing. There are always changes continuously happening in our economy, in our financial environment. So one of the other ways that we here at Master Wealth Builders are helping clients, we're also in conjunction, this works actually hand in hand with what you just learned about with the Employee Wealth FICA tax discount. Because as an employer, if you have more than 10 employees, and sometimes in certain circumstances, you may have thousands of employees, you are providing benefits to your employees. Sometimes those benefits can be costly. And sometimes the benefits may not have the best value or may be the most attractive to the right employee that you currently have or you want to attract or bring onto your business. So what we do here is when we have conversations with people that we're talking in front of, with ourselves and our team, we're doing an advanced strategy for you. We're doing a comprehensive review of breaking down what are you currently providing. So we want to know what you have, because sometimes maybe the things you have in place is working efficiently for you. But you can always constantly compare. I say, like going to the doctor, you should have a checkup every year. At the end of every year, especially now as a tax professional, usually you're talking with your CPAs, you're doing your end of year tax planning, you're looking to see where you're at as a business. What are your inputs? What are your outputs? You're getting ready to go into the next fiscal or calendar year. So this is a perfect time to assess where you're at, because sometimes having the right benefits package can attract your your employees. Now, we just got done talking about how we can put more money back in your pocket just from participating in employee FICA tax discounts, providing medical services that are preventative. So think if you could redirect, that is the strategy that we're trying to teach and educate business owners all across the country, is if you can save money in one place. So for example, if you're saving $700 a year towards an employee and you're putting money back in your pocket, you may be able to provide them a benefits plan, whether it's health, whether it's comprehensive, whether it's additional resources, and life insurance or retirement benefits. You can redirect that same money back to something that might be more efficient. We're helping with people with reduction strategies, saving strategies. We're analyzing the data that you provide us to see, okay, well, maybe this is working, but we can help in another area. And being that TK and I very much are on top of staying what's happening in the industry, we're also on top of making sure we are listening to what's new, what's going out, changes in the economy and financial structure, so we can properly advise. We're not in the business of pushing a product or a service. We are brokers, we're licensed professionals. So we purposely partner with some of the top firms in the country. So in A-rated business companies that provide some of the best services for the type of services they provide. So that way, when you come to us, you don't have to compare with 10 other companies. We have access to everything, but we are going to recommend the top things and services and benefits that work for you in your business, customizable based on what you tell us. So we're not going to tell you about a product, we're not going to tell you about a service, but we're going to tell you what is comparable and what will help you in your situation. So one of the things that, we want to talk about first, group insurance benefits. Usually when you go to an employer, you were usually giving term. You weren't giving anything that you could take away. If you lose a job, if you become laid off, you lose your insurance benefits. Now we're educating employers that when you're recruiting now, we are letting you know that you can provide them benefits that they can take with them. So regardless if they leave or stay, but at least they know the value in what you're providing them. So that if they lose their job, if unfortunately you have to let somebody go, they're not going to lose all their benefits. They may not have to lose their health benefits. They can still afford to participate in life. So we know it's hard to get new talent. It's sometimes hard to attract new talent. I had a client the other day saying she's having a hardest problem finding a good match for her business. But one of the best ways to retain, new business is to provide a good benefits package. Now, TK made reference to the Secure 2.0 Act in his previous presentation, but it is very real. It affects also the FICA tax, but it also affects the fact that if you don't provide certain benefits packages depending on the state that you live in. So as a tax professional, I have to disclose the law. There was a provision in the Secure Act 2.0 that was passed that required business owners, regardless if you had 50 employees or less or 10 employees or less, or even if you had independent contractors, as long as they work 30 plus hours a week, you have to be able to provide them an option of a retirement plan and benefits to opt in and out of in order to avoid a tax penalty. Some of the issues that we want to make sure we focus on is that a lot of people are unstable right now. Even before this year's economic instability and job losses, these were the numbers and the statistics of people that are not financially prepared. So as an employer, we want to make sure that we're able to help people in their time of needs. So one of the presentations I want to give today, we have a new vehicle through one of the companies that provide group whole life insurance that actually provides services of living benefits. That's unheard of in this industry. Usually it's term, you're limited to the amount that you get to choose from. But with this particular company, they're very flexible. If you offer benefits to your employees, you have the option of letting your employee take on some of the costs, give them the option to be able to opt into some additional benefits. And if they decide to take on a policy, it is guaranteed issue. So you don't have to worry about the health questions and the guarantee issue. There are some more advanced things that they can do or choose to do one-on-one, but they have the option of obtaining up to possibly $200,000 of coverage. That is phenomenal and unheard of. Usually, most term back in the day, I've been in this industry for a long time, they only offer $50,000 or less, which does nothing. If something happens to a homeowner right now, there's a husband and wife, and one of the, whether it's the husband, the wife, or whatever the setup of your household is, if one income earner passed away today, they would not be able to pay their mortgage. They would not be able to pay their medical expenses or their bills. So now they're allowing them to choose what's the best investment for them. Everybody's situation is not the same. Some people are not homeowners. Some people are single. Some people have no children. So everybody's needs are different. So they're able to make it efficient and customizable. The other thing I like about this company is that they also allow you to set up your own setup processes through your own, you'll have your own website where it makes it easy for your employees to enroll. So you don't have to do the old school paper. You don't have to call your insurance agent like myself or TK. Everything gets set up for you in the background and you're able to do it. So I'm just making sure you can see some of the things that are offered. This is not a full presentation. If you want to learn more, you can give us a call back. But the biggest thing about it is that they're offering now accelerated benefits, meaning if you get sick while you work and it's chronic, critically, or terminally ill, you can also pull money out your death benefit while you're still living. And if you are an employer that offers disability, we all know disability pays are not enough. They're only paying 60% of the payroll check to the employees while they're out on medical leave. So if they are meet the requirements of being critically, chronically, or terminally ill, if they have one of those $100,000 or $200,000 policy, they can pull out while living. That is the highlight of that. TK, do you have anything to add to the insurance benefits for employers? That are some of the best options right now.
No, I think you should just use it in combination strategy, right? So if we're saving you $700 from the FICA discount and you redirect that to pay for your whole life benefit, now that's more attractive to get higher benefit package to more qualified individuals, right? And then the fact that they allow you to offer it to your family members, you can get 200,000, your wife can get, and your children can get a fixed amount. That is powerful. So it's a benefit that expands, and I think a lot of companies don't know that this exists because before every company, especially Fortune 500, always offered term, which means you have to die at work in order to get the money. So now if you can come into your company, let's say you're a small, medium-sized company with not a lot of employees, but you say, hey, we actually offer whole life with living benefits. So you can access cash if you ever get sick. And of course, if you leave our company, you can take it with you. You just have to take over the payments. So that's a powerful thing that should set you apart. And I really want certain companies to at least know it exists and consider it in your benefits package.
All right, thank you so much, TK. And talking, continue the messaging of benefits and employee benefits. Our partner, Thomas Andrews, couldn't make it today, but we're just going to make sure you have his information so you could talk to him. We also have, we do provide health insurance options for employers that are affordable and cost effective. So if that's something you're considering, that's one of the big things that's going on in this country right now. People are worried about their health benefits, their Medicaid, their Medicare. So if you're an employer currently providing medical benefits, this is a conversation you want to have. We can come into your business and have this conversation and be able to present to you options. I'm just going to briefly go over, just make sure you understand if you are a business owner with employees or no employees, there are a lot of options. These are some of the things that you have to think about when you're getting, your insurance plan. But the main thing is most people don't know is that when you are a business owner, that there are group options that are affordable. So if we're able to save you on the tax side, you can redirect some of those options, to your employees without not having to worry about the costs. And working with a lot of employers and businesses in tax world over the years, most of the time employers are just saying we can't afford it. And there's options outside of traditional group plans that help make it more affordable. So we're just making sure you get the information. There are pros to a underwritten policy, even with being a business owner, where it could be affordable. And there's also ways to make it affordable with a group plan. So this is Thomas Andrews. If you didn't have a reference to somebody that can help you, if you have your own provider, still follow back up with them. But like I said, here at Master Wealth Builders, we're here to be a resource partner to get the information with you. We work with health insurance companies all over the country, and we do present some new options every time we talk to you to let you know what's available. And last but not least is the main thing is retirement and savings planning. That is a big thing right now. If you guys have been watching the news, people are worried about the markets, their savings. We know the market is unstable. What we're trying to focus on is teaching advanced strategies, making sure we're helping people with leveraging in this time. I just did a video last night where I talked about and went into detail about how, if you were one of the federal workers or you were at any company where you recently lost your job, I advise people don't pull out of your 401k just to make it. You can leverage that same money you already have, keep it in an account, take some of it and redirect it to a higher performing account. So the goals are is we want to make sure you're in a green space. You're receiving passive income. You're not living and depleting your savings. As a tax professional, I dealt with clients for years that got 1099-Rs and they depleting their retirement funds. I met with a lady last week that just literally completely depleted her 403B and she's going to retire. So, it's not too late if you've done that already, but we want to make sure we help people, we make people healthy in the financial savings. There's a lot of things to choose from these days. There's crypto, there's 401ks, there's index, there's stocks, but we want to make sure people are educated. Now, as a tax professional, I'll always reference back history. You have to understand the tax environments that we're in. So when you're selecting a retirement plan, I used to work in national banking for many years. So I was that person that used to set up 401ks, traditional IRAs, and different things that were on the market. But remember, 401ks were created by the Revenue Act of 1978, which that legislation was proposed simply to help high taxpayers to be able to shelter their funds while they were working because their taxes were around 70% during that time. So now that they have retired, those people retired already. And we hear about the baby boomers all the time. They're retiring at historical tax lows. Now, for the rest of us, if we're still working, more than likely taxes are going to historically go back up. We've already experienced these crashes in recent years. So, I started my life and journey as an adult around the year of 1999 when I graduated high school. I've been working ever since. And I've seen all three crashes up front as a financial professional. So we're advising people, not saying you have to take all of your money out the market, but just sit down with somebody. Make sure you're talking and having annual conversations with your tax advisor, paying attention to your 401k, not just not looking at it. A lot of people are worried about the state of the economy. So you have the opportunity to not have to ride this red line we're looking at. There are a lot of options in your savings journey. These are the most common savings options. Now, we know we have crypto, digital, and all types of things, gold, silver, but these are usually the things where people tend to gravitate to when putting their money. We still want to make sure people have a lot of different options. These are all great ways of saving and growing your money and having a well-balanced investment. But one is not worse than the other. There is no not right or wrong choice. It's about being educated on how you use it. The only thing we're educating people on today is because most people don't know about it or don't have the education on it. Is about fixed index annuities. They are made to protect your principal. So if you move some money over, you won't have to worry about you're going to take a loss on it. People that are on what we call this is the green line, it's called the PAR, the participation rate. It just means that instead of being directly invested on a market index or trade line, so this is an example of the S&P 500, they're just growing. And then when the market takes the zero losses, it stabilizes and continues to grow. So the red line is representing what the market did. So some people did get a good return, especially during the good old years of 2019. I saw people getting rates of returns in 2020, right before COVID, of almost 26%. But when COVID dropped and where we had that market loss, those people did not retain those funds. So what we're educating and what we're proposing to you today is that sit down with a professional, one licensed like ourselves. Now, the difference between going to your advisor, which I used to be on that side in banking, but I have a license now that allows me to be able to talk about off market strategies. So I do believe there's a merit balance, but the advisor cannot advise you on this strategy if they're not licensed to be able to provide you with annuities. There's even different type of annuity licenses because there's different types of annuities. There are annuities that are on the market that go up and down with the market, but what we're presenting you today is called a fixed index annuity. Right now, there's a special bonus right now, but it's about to go away. This is why we're talking about it today. This particular company used to only give on average 5 to 10% on all rollover contributions in the first year. So if you did just lose a job, you need to move that money because that money is no longer being matched and it's not growing. And it would be best to move the money somewhere where it's going to get growth right away. So they usually give a bonus in the first year. So say, for example, you had $100,000 in your 401k, 457, or your TSP. On day one, if you were getting 10%, you're getting a $10,000 increase. Well, the same company that's providing this vehicle starting on June, they were giving high interest rates starting at 23%. Now it's at 22%. It's about to drop to 21% on next week. So if you're paying attention to what's happening with our Federal Reserve, they're dropping rates. So when the Federal Reserve drops rates, it's great for the real estate side, which I am a mortgage loan officer. So on the refinance side, it may be great for people that are looking to purchase a home. You see, Andrew was also doing commercial real estate for business owners. The rates might be attractive to that, but it might not be good for people that are looking to invest traditionally. So we're telling people it's urgent. Sit down now, find out your options while you have options. How would it be if you made $20,000 on a $100,000 rollover on day one and you're in between jobs? You have the opportunity with these vehicles, with the ones that me and TK work with, where you can take a check out instead of pulling it out directly out of your 401k, where you might get that 10% penalty for pulling out under 59 and a half, or even an interest penalty for pulling out of money that they usually ask you to repay back. This is another alternative solution. I'm not saying it's a total tax-free situation, but we can show you how to move the money tax advantage. Along with the bonus deposit, let me go back to that real quick. There are no fees for rolling over. There are no losses. There are no fees for managing. And it does have additional benefit if you are looking for that lifetime income. Some people might be younger, not ready and looking to retire or do anything. But for older people that really are looking to retire, if you move the money into this account, you have an opportunity to get what's called a lifetime income benefit stream. So on the income part of the annuity, that particular vehicle, as of today, is offering a 14% rollover bonus on everything in the first year. And then you can actually strategize and customize your plan to reach your income goal. So if your goal, let's say, is to get $5,000 a month tax-free for the rest of your life, then we would create a goal to do that. And the tax differential is based upon what type of vehicle you're moving the money from. So a qualified plan versus a non-qualified plan. A qualified plan is a 401k, 403b, 457. A non-qualified plan may be a Roth IRA because you contribute the money after tax. So when you withdraw the money might be tax-free. That doesn't mean you may not pay taxes on the interest you incur, but the interest is tax deferred while it's earning. So it's better than a CD because the CD, you'll get the 1099 INT at the end of every year where you have to pay that interest. And it could be a penalty if you withdraw early. So these are some of the ways we're helping people right now, especially if they're losing a job. You're allowed to withdraw penalty free on most annuities with this company, 10%. There's a special vehicle I'm just going to go over that does allow up to 12%, where you can leverage it if you're investing, starting a business, or just need money to get you through. This particular vehicle is called Asset Shield Bonus. So with Asset Shield Bonus, and actually this has changed already. It's changing like every week, so I don't even update the slides at this point. But as of today, they're offering 15% on any money you contribute or roll over. And don't forget, this is not just for people that lost their jobs or already have a savings. Even if you're starting on day one, the minimum contribution is 5,000 to start your savings journey. So if you're looking to put money in a savings, you can start from fresh. You don't have to have money already sitting somewhere. So an example is that if you had the 100,000, like I said, it's 15,000. The other program is 22%. The difference between the 15% and 22% is 15% is fixed, no fee, and guarantee for all contributions and rollovers in the first year. The 22% program is more for the aggressive investor that likes that diversity and the ups and downs in the market. The only difference is in this product, remember, there's no down. So it's all upside gain. But in this particular situation, there's a 0.95% fee to get enhanced participation and earnings in the market. So there is a benefit to it. If you do that, it gives you more money that could be possibly earned. So you could be on a NASDAQ, S&P 500, BlackRock, whatever your strategy is. But know that no matter what the market does, even if it's zero for the year, you would not just earn anything, but you would never, ever take a loss. And that's the most important feature of the vehicle. The minimum contribution, like I said, is 5,000. Up to age 69, the max is 1.5. And guess what? Good news. You can do as many as you want. You can actually diversify a whole portfolio just in annuities. You can have an income strategy. This is a wealth accumulation strategy. You can have more than one of these. So whatever your goals are, you can schedule it just with this. If you want to remain on the market, do that. But you do have the opportunity to diversify with different types of annuities. What me and TK do in advanced strategy, we're showing people that are starting business owners. So if you're a business owner and you are trying to leverage money, this would be a great opportunity. If you are an employer that want to offer benefits outside of 401k, let's say you're already doing traditional IRAs or Roths for your employees, the traditional Roth and IRA is just protected by the annuity now. It just doesn't take losses. So you can still contribute with your employees. You can still offer them an IRA or a Roth. It will just be protected by the annuity and earn more money. We also have advanced strategy for the executive suite. So if you are an employer that's earning $200,000 or more, so say you have your management team, executive team, or you just know somebody that earns a $200,000 income or it has at least a $3.5 million portfolio, they can participate in what's called premium financing. So the Kaizen plan as an employer, there's also something called Trizen, and we can get into the details if you have an appointment and want to learn more about that, where you can set it up with your business and your executive suite. But this is actually you're financing your retirement. The bank is lending you $3 to every $1 that you contribute over the course of 10 years. And then after the 10 years, they'll take their money back, but you'll have earned money based on the loan and also with what you contributed. So usually it grows the money at least 3 times the amount it would have grown if you would have just contributed your money, but you only contribute for 5 years. So the bottom line is you're earning, it's risk. You don't have any risk with this type of retirement and savings journey. If you have 100,000 employees, you have the option to offer this to them as an additional benefit. If you're a small office, this usually works very efficiently because you have the option to contribute or to not contribute, which can save you a lot of money. But then now you can retain good employees because they're not worried about their 401k match because you're giving them something that's just as valuable. So TK, do you have anything to add to what we are proposing to the business owners today? Whether you're self-employed or have employees, these are some of the options that you have, and we just want to make sure you know about it. If you do still want traditional 401k, we have access to those options as well. They still work hand in hand, but this is it. If you want to learn more, please reach out to us at Master Wealth Builders. This is the scan code I was mentioning earlier. You can schedule an appointment and call us directly here. Get more information, go to our website, And our physical address, we're located in McLean, Virginia, but we are licensed in 50 states. We also have 4 national programs. So if you are somebody watching this video on YouTube, you can call us. If you have an interest in the US, you have property in the US, you have family in the US, and you have at least $1 million in assets abroad, we are able to also help you on your savings journey with, we do have programs for you guys as well. All right. So first, I just want to open it up to our panelists. TK, if you want to add anything to what we presented today.
Yeah, I would just add a few key points. Essentially, take with you the rule of 100, which just means balance your portfolio, balance your investments, take your age, subtract it from 100, and the number that's left is the amount that you should have in principal protected accounts. So what it equals is the older you are, the more you're protected. If you didn't know that a no loss account exists, welcome, introduced, now you know. All right. There's no
Yeah.
reason to argue about a account that never loses money. So I want you to use a no loss in a balanced portfolio so that hopefully your gains will offset your losses because of that rule of 100, right? Certain percentages in principal protected. That way it offsets what you're gambling on the market. Because right now in this volatile market, we are headed for rocky times. We're headed for higher taxes. We're headed for austerity measures. We're headed for a lot of turbulence because the printing press can't be printed forever. So if you didn't study economy and you don't understand how the Federal Reserve prints money and then lends it to the economy within central banks, then it will affect your on-market investments. So everything you have in the stock market has that volatility and could be subject to austerity measures. So balance it. Use some of the things we introduced you to today, which is called off market because it's not actually put at risk. The other thing I want you to walk away with this is basically use benefits, use power tools. These are nothing but tools. These are financial tools that could set you apart from everyone else. I want you to use these accounts like a fixed index annuity the same way you use your bank account. Because if you did that, you're stepping into what we call compound interest. Compound interest is a penny doubled every day. And guess what? It grows your money faster. So save in a fixed index annuity the same way you save in a bank account. Your bank account is less than 1%. Same thing with business owners. Guess what? If you're a cash heavy business, yeah, you like to look at your liquidity, but take 30% of your net and drop it into a fixed index annuity. That way you take advantage of the compound interest that they're giving you, especially with the bonus that's going on right now, right? We talked about those high first year bonuses. Think about the math in leveraging if you're a business owner that's cash heavy. So please walk away with this with some insight, with some detail. And just like in college, you can always vet the process. You choose the method of fact checking, the method of research, whether you want to go to YouTube University, whether you want to call us, whether you want to call the companies that we're contracted with, like American Equity. However, you want to vet the process, have your people look into the validity of using compound interest because this is the power tool, especially those people who are suffering right now. I have an empathetic heart and I really want to give you a resource. So if this is a situation where, hey, I didn't know that I can get a cash advance from the job I just got fired from because I'm supposed to roll over my account within 60 days of leaving my job. So guess what? If you go straight to your job and you say, I need 10 grand, they're going to penalize you. If you roll it into a fixed index annuity and say, give me 10 grand when I open the account as a cashback, you won't get penalized. So if you didn't know you can do that and you're suffering right now and you have money sitting in a previous job, maybe you left 5 jobs and you never moved your 401k. If you didn't know you can do that, I hope this empowers you financially because guess what? This could pay for your retirement. Income for life. the number one reason why people use fixed index annuities. The ultra rich are the main ones that use this. But the number one reason, tax deferred growth, which we can show you how to position it to be tax free with the Roth conversion or a family trust. But tax advantage is the number one reason. Income for life is the second reason. So if you didn't know that these pay you till 114, guess what? This acts like a pension. I want to provide you resources, and I thank you for taking the time to at least explore.
All right, thank you so much, TK. And while you were
Yes.
talking, you did bring up a good point. I just thought about, as a tax professional, I'm always going to give you the legal tax advice. 13, less than 13% of employers even offer a pension, let alone have one. And then I'll always tell people you should always be talking to your CPA or tax professional before you pull from your retirement or move money around. That is the best way to do it. So that way, because you're going to pay the piper, you're going to pay Uncle Sam to move your money. So you should be talking to people that have the working knowledge. If you decide to talk to me, I am a licensed tax professional, so I can have that conversation. But for those people losing their jobs right now, they are gravitating to pulling out their retirements, and that's not a good situation. You don't want to just pull from your money. You want to leverage what you have, keep your money, and just take what you need. So we're here to help, but we're mainly here just to make sure people are educated, have the information. We want to continue to provide you resources. We'll talk about other topics later. We'll bring in more resource partners like Andrew and Johnny to make sure we're constantly giving you information. So please share this with other people. If you know other people that can benefit from this video, we are here. We're ready to take your call. We want to help you today. But it's not about us providing a service to you. It's about providing resources, knowledge, and information. Johnny and Andrew, do you have any other closing remarks?
I do not, but thank you so much, Shantae and TK,
Absolutely.
and Johnny as
And
well.
absolutely. Thank you, Johnny. And we do have other partners. They're not here today. We do work with PNC Bank. If you need a business banking relationship, PNC is nationwide. If wherever you're located in the country, we'll be able to help you if you need business banking. We already know we have our funder, Andrew, on the line. One of our other partners specializes in corporate training, helping with your organizations. We have George Dines. He is a CPA firm, and he's been in business and government for many years and can help you navigate if you're in government contracting, government services. Dr. Bruno Mazzali is one of our partners. He also is a global advocate and helps with kingdom marketing and so many other things. And then our number one partner, Dr. Shirley Liu, this is the building in which we're located at. She is on Fox 5. She's the best-selling book on some of the strategies we're talking about. So I would say if you see the book right here called IUL ASAP, go to Amazon. It's $9.99 audio or in person. All these things we're talking about, you can get it here. Warren Buffett has actually, there's signatures from anybody you can think of that knows about money in this book. So if you don't understand what we're talking about, watch some of her videos, her shows, and read the book. So, this is what we're here for. We're partnered with the top firms in the country, and we want to make sure we provide you the best services. So thank
And
you very much.
I also just want to close out and say that our resources is our primary concern. So when you think about teamwork, making the dream work, what the thought process with our different resource providers is basically giving you the option to fill a hole. We want to fill a need so that if there's something you're looking for, we can have a president of a company say, I can help you with that. That's why we showed you all of the different partners that we have. So understand that teamwork makes the dream work, and you can't be solo dolo. You kind of have to go into this thing with the idea that we can introduce you to the right partner.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody whether you're watching online, watching this later. If you're watching this before November 12th, give us a call because they are changing the rates again. This market is so volatile. I can't call it. I've been in finances for 24 years. So I tell people don't procrastinate, learn, get the information, and make an informed decision. We're here to help. Have a wonderful rest of your day and take care. Great.